it's Liz from Old Staples Crafts. Thank you so much for joining me again today. Today is Saturday, so it means it's Simple Stamping Saturday, except I'm not doing any stamping today, so slightly different from my usual Simple Stamping Saturday. But every now and again we need to change things up a bit. So let me flip the camera down and show you what we're going to make. I've lost my mouse. Where's my mouse? There's my mouse. So I'm using the Dainty Flowers Celebration paper, which is one of the free items that you can get if you place a qualifying order on my online store. I'm getting through this like you couldn't believe. The patterns are, I've only got a half sheet of this one. So we've got little flowers. We've got this amazing paper which has panels and bookmark sizing with a watercolor on the back. Then we've got this paper which is a larger floral with more watercolor on the back, foliage with fresh freesia polka dots. Oh, we've got that one again. So which is the one that I've 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Which is the one that I've not shown you? Oh, there's another one and I don't know which one it is. Is it that one? No, I don't think it is. No, it's not. There's another. I know which one it is. It's the one I'm going to be using. Duh! So let's try that again. Blushing Bride with a kind of aged background with little flowers. Starry Sky with this pattern. And then I've shown you the others. And then we've got the piece of paper that I'm using. Oh, dear heavens. Which is one of these lovely pieces where you can get 6 cards really easily just by cutting it in half and then slicing it into 3, and you get 6 card fronts. But Simple Stamping Saturday means that we are using note cards and envelopes. I always use note cards and envelopes on Simple Stamping Saturday, so I'm going to again. But first, as I say, this is a free item, and to get this, if you're in the UK, you need to place an order of £45 or more. If you're in Europe, so Ireland, France, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands or Belgium, if you place an order that is €60 or more, you could choose this item as your free item. It's on page 6 of the Celebration brochure. There's lots and lots to choose from. It obviously coordinates with the Dainty Delight bundle, which is on page 55 of the current mini catalogue, but you don't have to do any stamping or die cutting if you don't want. So this is the card that I have made, and I have worked out that if you wish to try its card making, but you don't necessarily want to get involved in stamping, you could get the paper if you purchased a pack of note cards and envelopes, and you get 20 note cards and 20 envelopes, a pair of our wonderful snips, which are just amazing, a bone folder. I'm a great advocate of a bone folder being one of the first things you buy when you're doing card making, because you get a nice crisp fold. Then, so a packet of thick Whisper White card, which is the card that I use a lot for card bases, and I'll show you that when we do the stepped up versions. Some envelopes to go with that, some liquid glue, and a pack of dimensionals. Now, whether you would choose the mini dimensionals or the more normal size dimensionals, that will be up to you. For this, I've used quite a lot of the mini dimensionals, although you could cut the normal size up to make smaller sizes. So that would come to £47.50, which means you would get to choose the free paper and you wouldn't have to get involved in stamping. So let's work this out. You would get 24 sheets of thick white, which means you would get 48 card fronts or cards, which you probably would be able to make 48 cards out of your pack of paper. fact, you definitely would be able to. You'd also have your 20 note cards and envelopes, so you could do some smaller ones and some larger ones, which means you could use some of your smaller scraps for your note cards. However, let me show you how I made the card that we're going to make now. So I've got my white note card and envelope, and I've used a scrap piece of paper for the flap of the envelope because, again, it's Simple Stamping Saturday, so I always decorate the note card envelope, and I've just got this lovely pattern on the front of my note card. So together they make a really nice pair of cards, or a pair. Nice pair, that's the word I'm looking for. Just a pair. So we've got a fold line here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to be very brave and stick this on after I have folded my note card, because I'm going to cheat slightly and use the previously cut edge for my second card. So all I'm going to do is add some liquid adhesive to the front of my note card, and this gives lovely slippage, so you can move your paper around as you need to. So let's turn it over. I need this corner to go into this corner. So lovely background. So let's pop that in place. And the reason I say I'm being brave is because, given a choice, I don't like particularly cutting with snips along a fold line. It's fine, but it's not my preferred way of doing it. I'd rather cut along a line that's not a fold. So let's use the bone folder to get that nicely stuck down. Take my snips. Now, I always use my snips the same way up. They do actually wear in. When I was at fashion college, we were told to always use our scissors the same way up and not let anyone else borrow them. So I've always taken that to heart. And I'm going to push this blade against the edge of my card, or the fold of my card, and just run up with my snips so that I've got a nice straight cut up that fold line. And then when I get there, I can just turn and do the same again, but this time obviously I'm pushing against the already cut edge. Let's open that up, because then we know that it's the front of the card that we're cutting to. There we go. So there's our second card front. And then I've got a piece of the pattern paper that's about the right size for the envelope front. I could use it for something else as well, but I'm going to use this rather fancy paper. And again, I'm just going to add a small amount of liquid adhesive. This is only paper, so don't go mad, as in the envelope is only paper. So don't go mad adding too much adhesive, because it might warp otherwise. Turn your card or your paper over. Make sure you've got your flowers going in the right direction. So this is the top, because it would look a bit odd if they were going down the envelope flap. And just pop that on so that that fold is on the cut edge. Open up, and again with your bone folder just press that down so that you've got the glue nicely spread. And then grab my snips again. I'm just going to do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to push the right hand blade against the edge of the envelope flap. And this does take a little practice, but it's not difficult. It is purely a question of practicing. If you're a bit worried, just go slightly outside the edge. It's better to go slightly outside the edge than to cut the envelope flap, given a choice. And then just curve round. And that is as simple as it gets. So we've got our lovely note card and envelope, and here's the other one I made earlier. So how would I step these up? So I've got my thick Whisper White, which I've just folded in half. And then for this one, I've taken the same piece of paper, so I've taken that panel and I've popped it onto a piece of the paper that's got the Starry Sky backing, which is this one, and popped it up on dimensionals just to give it a bit of a lift, literally and metaphorically. Really nice card, and again I might decorate the envelope of the card. And then for my more advanced crafters, I've got this paper, which is the back of this paper, and I've fussy cut the bookmark from the middle of the panels. What's that piece? I need this piece. So I fussy cut one of these bookmarks and cut it into pieces. Plus I've used this image. So these two, if I pick it up, these two are the bookmark, and this is from the background paper that we're using anyway. And then I've used the Blushing Bride reverse, which is this one, for my mat, and the front of that is the small pattern. So that's what I've used for that. And again, this I've put up on dimensionals so that it's got, surprise, surprise, dimension. So that's what I have done for my quick and simple, just stick a piece of paper on the front of your note card. Make it a little bit more complicated just by adding a second layer and some dimensionals, or if you want to practice your fussy cutting, you could go for this one. And all of that comes out of your if you're working in sterling, £47.50 order, and you get the paper for free. So you don't even have to stamp, but you will be able to make lots and lots of cards out of that pack of paper, because I reckon you can get 6 cards out of each sheet. So if we do 6 times 12, we've got 72 card fronts and 68 possible card fronts, because we've got our 20 note cards and envelopes and 48 of the standard A6 size. So you can have quite a play. So I hope you found that fun. If you did, a thumbs up is always appreciated. You can find a list of supplies both in the description bar below here, but also over on my website, and you'll find the website link below here. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave those below the description bar and I will get back to you. I am very behind, but I will get back to you. And if you're in the UK, France, Germany, Austria, the Netherlands, Belgium or Ireland, if you want to shop with me or join my team, you'll find links for those both below in the description bar and over on my website. And I will be delighted for you to either try out my customer service or try out being a Stampin' Up demonstrator and being part of my team. The offer that is on at the moment is amazing. £99, £170 of product that you get to choose, free shipping. If you want the mini cut and emboss, £125 to add that in, plus you still get your £170 of product. And if you're in Europe, those figures go to, let me just check them and get them right for you, because I always get them wrong. Bear with me, it's right at the back here. So if you're in Europe, you would spend €129 for 230 euros of product if you didn't want the mini cut and emboss. If you want to add the mini cut and emboss, that goes up to 160 euros, and the mini cut and emboss is in sterling, it's £59 worth, so it's a lot. And this is the boho blue, so you can either choose boho blue or white. Any questions, please ask. I will be delighted to answer any questions you have. Thank you very much for joining me today. Have a fantastic rest of your weekend, and I look forward to seeing you again very soon. Bye for now.